Hello, today I'm going to talk about the Pchum Ben Festival in Cambodia. On Sunday I attended a ceremony that they have at the temple for the festival. So we had to get up very early. We arrived at the temple at 4 a.m. When we first arrived, we bought a little plate, and on the plate it had some rice and it was in some little balls and it had sort of some seeds or whatever on it. But I noticed there were lots of different types. As I sat in the temple, people had either made their own or bought from different stall holders, but these were the particular plates we bought. Also had on there some incense sticks, and we were given a bottle of water, and a little candle was on it as well. So we went into the temple. As we were walking in, we had people like grabbing onto us, leading us where to go, because they wanted us to leave their shoes at their little stall, so they got the money for that. So once you left and it's about 500 real, which was 20 cents. So once you left your shoes, we walked into the temple and they had chanting for about an hour. But I googled this, and the monks actually chant whilst this ceremony is on, and it lasts for 15 days. They actually chant for 24 hours. So there's always a monk. There were 3 at the front. There's always monks chanting at this point in time. Once they had the ceremony in the temple, we all left the temple and we walked out with our little plates of food, and we walked up to another temple that they had on the property, and there were people lined up everywhere with little boxes, and what you had to do, you had to pay 100 or 500 real in the box, leave a donation and leave a little bit of rice on the set places they had. So the reason behind leaving the rice is they leave it for the ghosts. They leave it for the dead. And the monks apparently collect it all after, and they pray over it, and they ensure that the ghosts and the spirits are being prayed for. The reason they choose rice is because Cambodia lives on rice. Breakfast, lunch and dinner is rice. So rice is so important in their culture, so that's why they choose that. They also had fruit on our plate. Now, I've tried to research about the fruit and I didn't find anything, but fruit is a part of their culture. They have beautiful tropical fruit here, although I don't believe they enjoy the fruit the way I personally do. They tend to only have small bits of fruit. They like their rice and their traditional dishes. So we walked around, and bit by bit we were putting the rice, but once you put the rice, you've got to wet the rice. So that's what the water was for, so you wet the rice as well. And we had to walk around the temple 3 times, so we had a third of our plate used every time. When we were finishing up, it was gorgeous. There were children that were helping us. Now the children were homeless children, poor children, they were poor women. They actually live on the temple grounds. I found all this out because I was trying to work out why are all these children trying to beg of us, and because I've been told not to leave money to children through all the travel information that you read online. But these children actually live here. That money actually went back into the temple, and so the temple has places where people can actually stay. So they live there, they get given 3 meals a day, and they have to work, which is fair. So part of their work was helping us get rid of feed the ghosts, so to speak. But it was a really interesting morning, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love taking in new culture. I also loved, while the monk was singing, they did some chanting, and then after they were chanting, he actually sort of gave, I'm going to call it a sermon, and I wasn't sure what he said, but it reminded me of times that I have been into churches and the pastor's actually said something that was funny. And he must have said something that was funny because the congregation all started laughing. I tried to ask my tuk-tuk driver what he said, but he didn't understand, so it was too hard for me to get that communication across. But I could still pick up that it was funny. After the ceremony, we walked outside to get into the tuk-tuk, and the sun was just starting to rise. It was lovely and beautiful. And this stray minx kitten was in the tuk-tuk. Now there are minks because they've only got like a really short little tail. It was going meow, meow. So I picked her up and oh, she snuggled into me. She was absolutely delightful. But I couldn't take her. My tuk-tuk driver was saying, take her, take her. And I said, I can't. I'm leaving Cambodia. I can't take her. And he didn't understand, and I was trying to explain she's getting fed here at the temple. I take her for 2 weeks. How she get fed afterwards? Not to mention they've got 5 security dogs in the place that I'm staying, and they are vicious dogs. I don't know how long the poor kitten would have lasted, but she was just beautiful, and it was so nice to pat a little kitten. I haven't been able to pat these animals for a long time, so that was wonderful. Anyhow, I just wanted to share my experience with you and share what I got up to in Cambodia. It was a really special, beautiful moment for me. If you like this video, please give it a like, leave a comment below, subscribe to my channel, and most importantly, love life, live free, and be vegan. Bye for now.